All right, welcome race fans. We are here tonight with Top Fuel Racing, the IndyCar Series. They are at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. I'll get that out right. But I got joined in the booth here by Jeff Dotson and Tony Pizarro. Welcome, guys. How you doing there tonight, Jeff?
Oh, I'm doing great, Rudy. Should be a fun race here. Watch these Indy cars turn around the Canadian Tire here. Fun road course for anything that's raceable. NASCAR trucks, the GT style cars, and even Indy cars. I think it's gonna be a fun race tonight.
Yes, sir. Well, Tony, talking about the trucks here, I've only done maybe like 3 broadcasts here at this track. But I was talking to the guys earlier, and they said that the setup was really good here. The cars have got a lot of grip. So, and really they're pumped up about the race here tonight.
Yeah, despite the popularity of this racetrack, they actually haven't ran Indy cars here in probably since the 70s. So
Wow.
It's going to be interesting to see how these things actually handle at this type of a racetrack tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You're right. 60 laps are going to be turning here tonight, so they better be on their A game here. All chasing down Chase Hudson. Jeff, do you have the points, or one of you have the points pulled up there that you could run down through for us?
Yeah, I've got them ready. All right, Chase Hudson is your points leader. He has 207 points. Is that Michael Jeans? He has 159 points. He is 48 behind Chase. Scott Brinson is in third place. He has 155 points. He is 52 behind the leader, but he's only 4 behind Michael in second. Fourth place is Paul Krummerai. He has 153 points. He is 2 behind Scott. Fifth place is Adam Blocker. He has 144 points. He is 63 behind the leader, but only 9 points behind Paul. Also, I see Adam Blocker. No, excuse me, I read that wrong. Mark A. Walker has 135 points. He is 72 points behind Chase. He's only 9 points behind Adam. Seventh place is Travis Browder. He has 122 points. He is 13 behind Mark Walker, and he's 85 behind the leader. Eighth place is Kevin O'Brien. He has 119 points. He is tied with Josh Medlock, who also has 119 points, and they are 3 points behind Travis, but they're 88 points behind the leader. And then rounding out the field in 10th is Wally Terheimer. He has 113 points. He's 6 behind Josh and Kevin.
Very cool, very cool. Well, we're about 4.5 minutes away from qualifying, and I do believe they have open qualifying here. They do have one reset, one gimme out there, and I believe they shut the incidents off, the off-track incidents and stuff like that. I believe those are shut off. So,
there is no incident limit.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's good, because I know I'm off the track more than I'm on the track, I think. And a lot of people don't have a lot of practice time, as Tony was saying. This really isn't a big popular track. And, and I really don't understand why, Tony, because it is a freaking awesome track to drive on.
It's pretty popular. A lot of people used to run here in the 60s and 70s, but for safety reasons, they had to stop running at a lot of tracks. I know the American Le Mans series runs here, I think, every season. And fortunately, in NASCAR, we started running here in the trucks, but as far as the other series, I'm not entirely sure. We might see IndyCar come back here nowadays. That it's a lot safer, but especially since they're going to a lot more road courses rather than the ovals. But I don't know. I don't know why more series don't come here.
Popularity in iRacing, though. I mean, we don't see. Like I said, I think this is the 3rd broadcast I've ever done at Mosport.
I'm not entirely sure. They always try to find some excuses to run here because it is such a great track, like in the truck series, once a season. But other than the spec racer, I don't think I've ever ran here on any other car.
Well, it's going to be good, though. I think now they're turning about a 1 minute, 1 minute and a second, I think. Actually, I think Chase Hudson's under 1 minute now. He's actually got it down to under a minute.
He's still showing a minute second.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To make one lap around here, it's 2.46 miles, I believe it is. So just shy of 2.5 miles.
If anybody doesn't know where this track is, it's about 70 miles east of Toronto.
Oh, okay. Wow. Hey, I didn't know where it was.
It's in the town of Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada.
Hmm.
And one other cool fact about this racetrack too is I did see some rumors that the Xfinity Series, the track was trying to get the Xfinity Series to come. Well, the track's only got 32 pit stalls. Xfinity cars run 40-car fields. So how would you fit that many cars on pit road, and how would you run a race not having enough pit stalls?
Yep, that's probably what they're in negotiations about, because they would probably have to add more pit stalls. I don't know how they would do it. They would have to move.
I don't either.
They would have to move some stuff or change a location of pit road or something. Would be about the only way they could
Exactly.
do it.
Yeah. So it's perfect for IndyCar trucks, because trucks only run 32 truck fields, and IndyCar usually only runs 25, 22 car fields on road courses. So that's why this track suits those series. But for the Xfinity cars, I don't think it would.
I think it would be a little more interesting than Road America. I like some parts of Road America, but it takes so long to get around the track that sometimes you forget where they are.
Yeah.
Here it's a little bit more simple. I think there's only 10 turns here in total.
Yes, there are 10. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. I think those point standings that we went through are actually a week behind, because it still says Chase Hudson has 4 wins in 4 starts, and I think last week was the 5th race. So I don't know if those are updated completely yet.
I think. Well,
Does Scott do a drop week?
I think he does do a drop week.
Oh, that's why. That makes sense now.
That's why I was trying to think of if he did or not. But all right, folks, we'll step away real quick here, play the national anthem, and be right back with qualifying underway.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, folks, we're back here with qualifying underway. They do have a 20-minute qualifying window here. I didn't see that. Wow, that's pretty awesome, though, to have 20 minutes, because I know it does take a little while to get around here. No counted laps or anything. Just 20 minutes to turn the best time.
I see a bunch of guys actually I see a bunch of guys actually spinning their tires left and right to try to heat them up before the first lap on the warm-up.
Yep, good idea.
That is a good idea.
We're going to have those team... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I've heard rumors to the fact that doesn't work, but I really don't know. I mean, I'm sure the guys that are doing it knows that it does work, so obviously there must be some accountability to it.
Well, even if it doesn't work, the guys that are doing it feel more confident when they do it, and then they run a better lap anyway.
Yep. It's a psychological factor.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like what we talked about a couple weeks ago, Rudy, when I helped you one of the Monday night races. You know, we was talking about, you know, a guy being out in clean air. Does it have a psychological effect to it, or does it actually work? So it's kind of like this too.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if it really has a big effect on the car. As I mean, it would. I would assume it would, because there's no aero around it. You know, nobody's disrupting that air around the car. But then again, too, you have that whole track to use at your discretion, whether you want to come out high or you want to stay low in a turn, and you don't have to worry about somebody being right there on top of you or following somebody into a turn. So I really don't know either. I mean, I'm sure there's a little psychology involved in that, but I think there is some validity to it, too. I think it actually does make a difference being out in clean air.
Yeah, I agree with you. I believe you're right about that.
You got Chase Hudson crossing the line on the second lap here. Blocker just improved his lap time about 2/10 to a 6:44, just a bit less than a tenth of a second behind Hudson for the pole.
Yeah, those two, man, they are so close in their quality and their style of racing. Just it's kind of scary. And I know Chase has been concerned about that all season long, and I think, you know, like I said before, I think Chase has taught these guys a lot about turning laps, and they've been paying attention.
Yes, they have. I remember a few weeks back when I was helping you, Rudy, with their Phoenix race. Chase Hudson and Adam Blocker were the two up front just battling, and they'd done battle every lap of the race and on the restarts, and it was just a great race between those two overall. And I think we're going to see that here again tonight at Canadian Tire. I think these two are going to be up here battling for position again.
Yeah, at least for a while, anyhow.
Blocker's actually had a pretty decent run of late. Third, second. He had a really good finish at Twin Ring just a couple weeks ago, so bound to have another good finish tonight.
And I believe that was where Chase didn't have a good finish, I think. One of them.
That was last week at Kansas. I think he was on the outside of a couple cars and got into the wall twice and had to quit.
Yep. Yeah, he finished way back in the field, like 17th or 15th or something like that. And yeah, it was an upsetting week for Chase last week, but he didn't seem to be too concerned. He's got the points lead yet. The closer them points are, the harder the race that he's going to put out, you know. So I don't think he's too concerned.
He's with the drop week, it doesn't even make too much of a difference until his second bad incident, and then that's when you'll see the points start to fall. But for now, he's the complete 48 points ahead of Michael Jeans, and I'm not sure what the point system is exactly, but I think that's over a race in total.
I think they're the same as IndyCar, whatever that may be. However, they do their points different than NASCAR.
I know the Indy 500 points are a lot. You get a lot more points for the Indy 500, but I'm not entirely sure about the rest of the series.
Where do they go to? Where do they go to next week? I just scheduled that.
Let's take a look.
I think they're going back to Auto Club next week.
Yeah, that's it. Auto Club. Yep, you're correct. They got Phillip Island on the schedule coming up here in a few weeks, so that's going to be pretty interesting. And I think if I looked at the scheduling correct, they're going to be restarting their Indy Light series, but I think they're going to be doing that on Wednesday or on Tuesday nights. I think it was Tuesday night. So, but I don't know. I haven't talked to Scott about it or anything, and I think that's the way he's got it on the schedule. Anyhow, it's going to be the night before the IndyCar series.
Yeah, so they go back Auto Club. That was the first race of the season, and they'll do Auto Club again next week. And then after that, they go to Michigan. After Michigan, he'll be doing the Daytona Road Course. And then after that, it'll be then after that, it'll be going to Indy, then New Hampshire. Then on June 14th, it'll be Monza without the first chicane. Then Pocono, then the Indy Road Course. Then Homestead on July 5th. July 12th will be in Milwaukee. July 19th, Kentucky. July 26th will be Phillip Island. Then on August 2nd, they're going back to Twin Ring Motegi Oval. And then August the 9th, they're going to finish the season out at Michigan.
Awesome. Yeah, I knew Phillip Island was in there somewhere. I didn't look too far ahead on the schedule, but I did see that, and I thought, oh boy. Because I know last season he had that on the schedule, and there was a lot of people that didn't have the car or didn't have that track, and he actually decided to change that on the schedule and put up another track that people had. But I think he said he was going to have it on the schedule this season, and he said people are going to have to get the car if they want to race, or the track if they want to race.
Yeah, another interesting thing I see here that Gott has done for the schedule. Tonight at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park doing 60 laps. And then when they go to, I believe it's the Indianapolis Road Course, they're doing 50 laps. But now for Daytona Road Course and Phillip Island, he's doing it minute-wise. It's not laps. It'll be a timed race for those two races.
Okay. What kind of times he got on that?
The Daytona Road Course is a 75-minute race, and Phillip Island is 65 minutes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's probably what he should do on all the road courses, but, that's his league, his doings. But it does kind of change it up a little bit when you got a timed race, because even, it depends on where they are at on the track, what lap is going to be their last lap. And it could be such a tight battle that, that one extra lap could make a difference in who's going to win.
It could, yeah. I mean, I've seen some, races before, where the leader's coming to the start-finish line on a road course timed race, and you would think that, the timer just ended right there coming off the last corner. It gave him the white flag. Mm-hmm. It didn't. It waited until he crossed the line and come back around again to give him the white flag.
Yeah.
But then there's also been times where you've been a couple turns back from the start-finish line, and the timer ended, and it'll bring the white flag out when you get there. So it all just depends on your timing, where you are when that timer runs out, where you are at the start-finish line, on how many more laps you get.
One thing I've always wondered is, for qualifying, if you cross the line just in time, because I know they do like 20-minute qualifying sessions. If you cross the line just in time, and then the timer goes out 5 seconds later, do you get credit or not?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good question. I believe you do still, yeah. I mean, as long as you make it back to that start-finish line and you cross it, I believe iRacing gets your time. So I believe that's a possibility that does happen.
So you might see some late bloomers come out and try to run that extra lap. Looks like Chase Hudson gained a 10th on his old lap time, and then up to a 101.4.
Yeah, we only got 11 qualifiers. I mean, there's probably more guys out there qualifying than that, but if you run off the track just a tiny little bit, it doesn't count that lap. If you hit the grass or anything. So it could have been, some of them guys that have not turned into qualifying time could have hit that grass or rumble strip just right. Maybe their wheel went over and it gave them an incident, and it nullifies that lap.
Looks like Chase Hudson just tapped the grass coming off the last corner, but the fortunate thing for him is it's still going to count the lap after that, because he got that one X just before the start-finish line. Well,
right.
He did park it just afterwards, so maybe it did give him credit for that 1x that lap.
I am kind of anxious to get this mixer board hooked up. That's going to be, man, I'm hoping that's going to be a big help if I get it figured out and get everything set up on it right. Man, that's going to make a big difference, I think.
Yeah, we want you to feel comfortable in the booth, Rudy.
Oh, of course. Yeah, surely don't want to be uncomfortable in the booth. I mean, I actually had to take a pain pill tonight, man. I was hurting so bad, and I don't know, this afternoon had just been... I know we're supposed to get some really bad storms late night tonight, like 2 o'clock in the morning. They're calling for some really bad stuff to hit, and it seems like whenever there's bad storms on their way in, boy, I hurt like crazy for a few hours, for the hours coming up to that storm, man, oh man. And it's, I've been paying for it today.
What they call it, the barometric pressure or whatever it is, coming in with the storm front. That's pushing down, and it's making, I think that makes sense. That pressure still it's coming through it. Make people that have issues like you or other people that have pain and stuff like that, I think it affects them that way. I know I get that way sometimes. So.
It's kind of like those animals that detect the storms and then they run off into a cave or something. It's kind of the same type of thing.
Yeah.
Of course, you probably run off to your man cave.
I'll tell you, our dog, she is just deathly afraid of lightning and thunder. Deathly afraid of it, okay?
Yeah, a lot of them are.
And just like tonight, my wife, she goes out every night. She gets home from work and we eat dinner, and she goes out and spends time with her out in the garage, and tonight she just did not want to go back in her cage. She just, she knows it's coming. I mean, animals can feel it. They sense it.
That they do.
Yep.
So that's kind of weird. Too bad we didn't have them senses. We do, but they're in the form of pain and agony.
Yeah.
So. Well, Chase looks like Chase is going to hold on to the pole for now. I'm really kind of surprised Scott's hasn't had a better lap than that to be up there. But he knows Adam Blocker's been just man. He's almost fitting into that alien category with Chase Hudson right now.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I've been on board with Scott for a couple laps. It looks like he's just trying a little bit too hard over driving the corners.
Yeah,
heading into turn 5 right now. He just took a spin. I think he's going to get maybe a couple laps worth of chances to try to improve on that lap time.
Yeah. Oh, now that he's spun though, he's just ruined them tires.
I think he took it back to... Well, I don't know if he took it back to pit road or not.
No, he
didn't. He stayed out.
That's probably what he should have done, but...
Yeah.
Maybe he thought, well, this will warm my tires up. I'll be faster now.
And he would have had enough time to come back to the pits and get some new tires put on the car and get back out there and try for one more lap, but he stayed out here. And,
he could also be content
shocking
with third, because even if he gets a better lap time, he's got to improve it by 8 tenths at least to even gain a spot.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure, where do they start them here? Don't they start like somewhere on the backstretch or something? Don't they? They don't make a complete full lap here on a pace lap.
I believe you're right about that. I think Scott just spun out. I think right there where Scott just spun out, coming off that corner, I believe is where they start at.
I think that coming out of turn 6, that's probably the most important corner of the race. You got to get that good exit to gain as much speed as you can for the long straightaway ahead.
Right, yep. And that's where we're going to see some good competition right there on that long straightaway. Because these cars draft so good, that's probably one of the only places where they're going to really be able to use that draft.
It's also good because it's the only place on the track where you can take a little bit of a breath and take that well-needed breather after, 2 or 3 straight laps of hard racing with someone else. If you can finally get clear, you can, stretch a little bit.
That is so true.
Looks like we got just 2 minutes 30 seconds of chances to get a better lap. I have a feeling Mark McFadden's just ratting around, hoping to just stay on the track all race. Looks like he's having a little bit of a tough time.
Yeah, Mark, he just had them big health issues.
Oh, that's right.
I shouldn't say health. It was actually a car wreck in a race, and hit the wall doing 80 mile an hour with his car, and so he's got bruises everywhere on his body, from what I understand. Man, he's got all the way from his head to his toe.
Yeah.
After a car accident, I'd be afraid to even get in a virtual car after a few weeks.
No kidding. Yeah, let alone a real one. A virtual one would even be a little scary. But well, he's used to the racing, and that's what racers do, man. When you're dedicated to a sport like that, you got to take the good with the bad. You take the wreck and you recover from it, and you go right back out there. You get right back on that horse and ride it again.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say sport. I had in his case, his real life job is definitely a sport. Mm-hmm. Or I don't know if it's a job, probably more of a hobby for him, but I don't know if you guys would call sim racing a sport or not, but I had an argument with my roommate, or a discussion asking if it was a sport, and I actually said no, and he said it was.
Well, they have big things that go on with it, and
oh yeah,
esports events and all kinds of money given away, and I mean the actual the pros. Would they get like $11,000 for winning the championship in the Pro
12.
Series, and an award, and they go to the actual NASCAR awards banquet to receive that award. So
yeah,
what do you call it? I mean, and there's a lot of iRacers that go on to real world racing, or a lot of real world racing that are in iRacing as well. So.
Well, that was his argument. The fact that if you are the best and you make that much money, you got to consider it, some kind of electronic sport of some kind. So,
yeah. How many guys that get done with these races and they're wringing wet with sweat?
Oh, yeah.
You got that right.
Of the competition. Yeah, Scott knows. You've been there.
Yes, sir. My hat probably be soaked at the end of the night. And just while we got a minute, not to change the subject, qualifying just ended, though. I just want to send a shout out to Mark McFadden and New West Contractors for being on board. This is the New West Contractors Canadian Grand Prix. It's the first race they've sponsored here, but they kicked in $200 for the season. So I want to thank everyone over there at New West Contractors and Mark McFadden for bringing them on board, and for them being a part of this. They just kind of came out of the blue and kicked in some money, and that's pretty awesome. So we'll be having some more New West Contractors races in the future, but this is the first one here tonight, and I just want to say some thanks to those guys.
Absolutely.
Also want to send a shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Sedlick. Today is their anniversary for getting married. So shout out to Mrs. Sedlick from Mr. Sedlick. There ain't going to be no interviews tonight, so he won't be able to do it. Also want to get well wishes to our buddy Mark McFadden I was just talking about. He was in a pretty bad racing accident a couple weeks ago, and he's still healing up. So hopefully he gets well. And I also want to thank all the fans for tuning in tonight and checking us out. And hopefully we won't stink the show up. And, of course, I want to thank you guys for being on the call here tonight.
All right, Scott. Well, good luck out there tonight, man. You got a tough road ahead of you.
Yeah, it's going to not be an easy race. This is a fast place. The laps, as you see, we're going to click them off pretty quick. Ain't going to be much more than an hour and 5 minutes to run this race. But the key is going to be keeping the car on the track and just going forward. And that's my goal. I just want to keep it on the track and going forward. So
Roger that. All right.
Good luck to you guys up here in the booth. I know you won't need it. You guys always hold the fort down rather nicely. So, but thank you very much for being on the call.
All right.
Good luck, Scott. Try to improve on your queue position there.
Gonna try to. It's gonna come down to one of them guys in front of me make a mistake, though, and that's, I think, is gonna be the key to this race. Who makes the least mistakes, including those two guys up front, because I saw them having issues too. So everybody's got their hands full tonight.
Yep. All right, starting on the pole.
All right, guys.
Chase Hudson with a 1 minute, 1.435 second lap. Adam Blocker will be on the outside of the front row. Michael Jeans in third. Scott Brinson starting fourth. Garrett Maines fifth. Nathan Sedlick. Happy anniversary to Nathan and his wife. I don't know, she probably tuning in, but happy anniversary to them. He will be starting in sixth place. Wally Turheimer in seventh. Or Wallace. Wallace Turheimer. Paul Krumrei starting eighth. Mark Walker ninth. And Kevin O'Brien 10th. Jeff?
Yeah, we got Mark McFadden starting 11th place tonight. He was the last one taking qualifying time. So good to see Mark back on track after we were talking about his real world racing incident there. So it's good to see him. We got Eric Steinmetz starting in 12th. Chris Voiles will start 13th, and rounding out the field in 14th will be Matt Burkhart.
And not a big field here tonight, but it'll be interesting here. I mean, it's going to be big enough. A lot of people, I think, are really kind of scared of this. Scared of this track, I think, a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
There was a few people that didn't have the track. I talked to Josh Medlock, and he told me that he didn't have the racetrack, so he said he wouldn't be able to be here tonight. So there's one other spot that would have been eligible to run, but 14 cars, these Indy cars are fast. I think 14 is a good number for this racetrack here tonight.
Mm-hmm. And, boy, they are going to make a full lap around here. What?
They are.
Wow. I didn't think they would. I thought they'd start on the backstretch. Oh.
Yeah, last time I helped you do a broadcast here with this, I thought they did start on that back straightaway back there, but I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. They got to make a full lap around here. All right, well, I'm going to let you guys have at it here, get them started in the whole 9 yards, so I'll chime in when I can.
Yeah, it sounds good, Rudy.
Oh, you know we will.
Did you hear that dirty laugh of Rudy's there? He knows we're in for what's the opposite of a treat?
I don't know what the word is used, but I get what you're saying.
I know. Looks like Mark McFadden was given an end of the longest line penalty. I don't know if that's a joke played on Scott Brinson's part, but he's already back there anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they're getting through turn 5 here at about, 40, 50 miles an hour. They're probably going to be about 40, 50 miles an hour in the race, too, so they better be careful under yellow.
As this pace car speed around here is 60, so I think they're going to get up to some speed here on this straightaway here, and when they start coming into that final few corners, they're kind of like an S turn a little bit. But I think that and the hairpin corner at the top before you get onto the backstretch, I think those are going to be the two key turn areas tonight around this racetrack to see who's where, and because I've seen some racing action up there in turn 6 and that little hairpin turn up there. It gets hairy up there sometimes when you're around other drivers.
Oh, yeah, because you're trying to compensate. It's hard enough to get through there with just yourself, and then you have to compensate for cars in front, cars behind, try to determine when they're going to brake and when they're going to start gassing it up. So it's easy for other cars to be around you and for you to screw up to compensate for what they're going to do. So
yeah.
All right, looks like we're about to go green. Pace cars are going to come take a right here, and we'll see when Chase Hudson decides to go.
Yep. There's the green flag. We're underway here at Canadian Tire Motorsports, and Chase Hudson didn't get a start there. We thought he was going to. Adam Blocker takes the lead from him here.
Looks like Hudson was anticipating the green coming out a little later and gave Adam the opportunity to go by on the outside lane heading into turn 1. Right now we're going to go into turn 3, and Chase Hudson's right on the tail.
Yep, Michael Jeans off the racetrack here. He's in the tire wall.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And he got it back going, but, man, he lost every position. Ooh.
Yeah, he's a bit too damaged, too. He looks like he turned the wheel really hard to the left to try to avoid spinning it out, and then overcompensated and ended up in the grass. He's going to have to take a quick repair already on lap 1.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. There's only one quick repair here tonight, Tony, and that's not going to be good for these guys if they have to use it that early.
Battle for third position, Garrett Maines was trying to take a look into her on the inside of Scott Brinson heading into turn 8, but Brinson was able to hold him off. Looks like Garrett's going to stay on his bumper right now and maybe try to make another move this lap sometime. And up front, we have Adam Blocker and Chase Hudson already about 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field.
Yeah, and Adam.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I think it's what you said there, Tony. Go ahead. I think as you said there, Tony, when we was watching the beginning there, I think Chase was kind of, speculating on that start a little bit. He was kind of, waiting for that green, and it come out and kind of surprised him. He was waiting for it a little later. So, but Adam Blocker was right on the gas pedal there, and he was able to get on it, and that's why he's out front right now by 0.3 of a second.
Battle for the third position, Garrett Maines finally got enough draft to fly his way by Brinson and take the third spot heading into turn 8.
Yeah, good race between these two here.
Also got Nathan Sedlick following right behind.
Yeah, Wally Terheimer's right behind these guys. He's a little bit back, but I think. Oh,
we got Krumrye in the inside wall in the front stretch.
Yeah, Paul Krumrye here on the inside wall. Ooh, Farmall car. He's got some heavy wing damage now on that car, so.
Ooh.
Man, I don't know if he needs to stay out or not. I mean, he could try to stay out possibly and keep his positions that he didn't lose here and try to regain, but the way that front wing's damaged there, I don't know. I think that car. Oh, yep, and there.
Yeah, he's going to go around again. I think that car's
going to be tough to drive. Yeah, he's around again already. So, and this is a tough week. We're only 3 laps in, and we're seeing these incidents already. And I think these guys are getting into incidents that's bad enough to where they're going to have to use their quick fix early, and that's not good in a 60-lap race around here if you have to use your quick fix within the first 10 to 15 laps.
Kevin O'Brien also spun out in the 7th position in the last corner, but he didn't hit anything, and he keeps going without any damage. Krumrye, I mean, without the incident limit, you have no reason to just park it and take a tow, because that tow is going to take so long, you might as well just wreck it 5 different times and try to get to the pits.
Exactly.
And still be a lot faster.
Yeah. Yeah, so, as you said, there's no incident limit, so who cares if you drive off the racetrack trying to get back to the pits?
Right. Looks like Michael Jean's, not sure if he just came out of the pits or not, but no, I think he's still riding around with that damage, and he's going extremely slow. He just let the leaders by already.
I'm seeing here his wing is repaired, so I believe he did pit in and repair that.
Terheimer also off the track.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, Mark Walker and Terheimer both off the track in different areas here. Man, I tell you right now, Tony, these guys here, they're just having a hard time getting around this track tonight. We're only 4 laps in.
Well, that might be part of it as well, the inexperience. And even though these guys practice, once you go into the race, you're driving a completely different,
exactly
set of lines in the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That always happens in a race. You're in practice and you're practicing and the car feels great, and you qualify and the car feels great, and you get in a race and, you kind of change your driving a little bit, and it's like, what happened from practice and qualifying?
Yeah, it can be frustrating. Looks like Blocker might have enough draft to possibly catch up to Chase here on this Mario Andretti front stretch, but I'm not stretch, the back stretch. But yeah, maybe not. It's tough to really get a good enough run coming off that corner because you're going so slow. Even if you're right behind the guy, the car in front's going to get such a big jump coming off that corner that you might not have enough time to catch back up to him by the end.
Exactly, yeah. That's the thing about hairpin turns. If you're right behind the guy on his bumper, that car in front's going to get the shot off before you get to it because you were slow behind him and taking the corner already. So that's something to look for. But right there, as you were talking about that, Chase did close the gap on him going down the back straightaway there. But coming out of that area through the front stretch, he's lost more ground now, and he's 0.5 back, half a second.
Yeah, it looked like Chase got a little bit tight coming off of the final corner. That's where he lost a lot of that speed.
take a look back here at Wallace Terheimer, Wally Terheimer, as he has Eric Steinmetz starting to close up on him. And behind Eric, it is Kevin O'Brien.
Yeah, these three are just about within a second of each other right now. I think we might see a little bit of a battle here for the 6th position pretty shortly.
Yeah, these three are pretty close to one another, so I think if Eric and Kevin can, hit their marks right, they're going to catch Wally and get a race going here between these three.
Two leaders right now are already 7 seconds ahead of 3rd place Garrett Maines. Scott Brinson and Nathan Sedlick are battling for the 4th and 5th position, pretty close together right now, heading into turn 2.
And the interesting thing...
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, the interesting thing here is Garrett in the 12 car here, he is in between the leaders and Scott and Nathan. He's 7 seconds behind the leaders, but he's about 3 to 4 seconds in front of Scott. So he's kind of got, a margin to work with here. If he would have a small little mistake, Scott would only catch him by a little bit here. So, but you can see Scott is on the backstretch here with him. So they are starting to reel him in.
Well, fortunately for now, until they do reel him in, Garrett he's probably in the best position as far as not wrecking the car, because he has no one behind him, no one in front. He can just ride his own race right now, especially getting past Michael Jeans, who's still struggling with his race car right now.
Exactly.
Looks like Matt Burkhardt, who was not doing too well previously, it looked like he just missed his brake or something. He just ran into the tire barriers into turn 9 there.
And now he's sitting on pit road, and he is now 2 laps down, setting in 14th position. So 1 car off racetrack, and the rest are still on the racetrack with one lap down, which is Michael Jeans in 13th. 12 cars on the lead lap.
Whoa! Michael Jeans and Nathan Sedlick made contact.
Ooh, yes they did.
Looks like Jean's still struggling with handling. Just got into turn 5 a little bit too hot, ended up in that little dirt embankment there and tapped Sedlick. Hopefully Sedlick's okay. Looks like he does have a little bit of left side damage, but I don't know if it's going to affect him too much.
Yeah, I can kind of look at the wing here, and the very first incident he got into that damaged his wing. This incident here didn't damage it as bad as the first incident did, so I think he might be okay. He is staying in the grass here, trying to stay everybody's way, so I think we may see him come back to pit road here.
Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, he's going to take that right turn right into the pit lane here. Hopefully it doesn't end his night. I'm not sure if he has another fast repair or not, but he's going to head into the pit road right now.
Yeah, I think he just took one. He got it. Yeah, that first incident he got into, he had a lot of heavy wing damage, but they do repair the wing without the quick fix. So if he still could have his quick fix, they just repair the wing here if the car doesn't have a substantial amount of damage anywhere else.
I just saw the front wing go back to the normal position, so I'm assuming he's going to go back out there and give it another shot.
Yeah, if it was just the front wing that was damaged, they'll replace that without using the quick fix. So I think in order to use the quick fix, you have to have like a side pod or suspension damage or something like that. If it's just rear wing or front wing damage, they'll replace those wings without using the quick fix. But back up front here, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say back up front to the leaders here. Chase Hudson's still trying to keep close ground on Adam Blocker, but Chase is still half a second behind. And it looks like since we've talked about them earlier, he hasn't caught any more ground here. So it looks like Adam's just kind of on a Sunday cruise right now.
Well, I think also Chase is content with Adam's pace right now. He doesn't want to push the issue and try to pass him, maybe wait for the first pit stop to see if he can gain any ground on him. Because right now, as long as they continue the pace they're at, I think they're probably going to stay in shape, not make any mistakes. They're first and second, so they're in the best position in the racetrack. They know that, and they'll try to continue their pace right now.
Yes, sir. I think he was getting ready to say something about Nathan Sedlick, but looking back at that, Scott Brinson and him are having a really tight battle right now on the racetrack for 4th and 5th positions.
I think Brinson's letting his competitive nature get the best of him right now, because I have a feeling he'd be a little bit faster if he wasn't so nervous. He seems like a pretty nervous guy, at least at the beginning of the race, just his personality, you know. But
exactly.
He usually does a little bit better as the race goes on.
Yeah, and I'm taking a look at his times here. He had a 102.2 in practice, but he had a 102.4 in qualifying, so he was slower in qualifying than what he was in practice. But it looks like, yeah, Adam Blocker actually improved his qualifying time over practice time, and so did Chase Hudson. So, yeah, I think maybe this track right now might just be on a little bit of a rough edge for Scott, and he's just trying to learn the way the track goes here and just try to get the best finish out of it he possibly can.
Well, he's doing. Anyone that hasn't wrecked their car yet is doing a pretty damn good job, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, exactly. Because, we've already seen multiple cars get into incidents where they get damaged, and if it's only been wing damage, we know they haven't used their quick fix, but if a few of them have used their quick fix and it's only 11 laps in, that's a quite early. Oh, Chris Voiles wrecks off the last corner coming to the start-finish line. Heavy damage to his race car as he will tow it to pit lane. Lost the whole front end.
It looks like he tried to take too sharp of a corner out of turn 10, and, well, maybe not too sharp, but at the end there, he just gassed it a little bit too hard and hit the inside wall. Fortunately, nobody was behind him to hit him afterwards. Up front, we got a battle for the lead in a lap car right in front. Mark McFadden and Paul Crumry are a little bit slow right in front of the 2 leaders right now. Managed to get by McFadden. They're coming up on Crumry at a really, really bad area right now. Looks like Crumry's going to try to... Nothing Crumry can do. He just has to wait until they get to the straightaway. Looks like they possibly might take it 3 wide, but Chase Hudson knows better, and he's going to stay right behind Blocker right now.
Yeah, so Paul Crumry, Mark McFadden go 1 lap down in the leaders here as we are 12 laps in, coming to 13 complete. Or 12 complete, coming to 13 lap, I should say, excuse me.
I'm not sure if there's really any part of the racetrack coming up that Chase can make a move. But, like I said, I'm not sure if he wants to make a move right now.
Yeah, I would say probably the areas that drivers could make moves would be the front straightaway or the back stretch or the corners before the hairpin turn before you go on the back straightaway. That hairpin corner before the back straightaway and then the 2 corners before the start-finish line, those are just some treacherous race corners on this track, and I've just seen a lot of incidents happen there with drivers racing each other.
Oh, we got Adam Blocker in the grass.
Yeah. Oh, Paul Crumry spun out too because he saw that. I think he tried to check up. He got in the grass there as well.
Yeah, Crumry's still trying to manage his way through. Yeah, I think he probably just saw smoke from Blocker and panicked a little bit and spun out himself.
Yeah.
But I think maybe Chase Hudson's strategy there was to try to stay as close behind him as he possibly could without, trying to pass him, and maybe that intimidated Blocker a little bit coming into that corner, and he finally made that first mistake of the night.
I believe you're right about that, yeah, but now we got a new race leader here, Chase Hudson. Chase was your pole sitter here tonight, but he was a little hesitant on the race start, and I think he was not thinking that green flag was going to come out right when it did, and that allowed Adam Blocker to get around him. Adam Blocker did lead 14 laps tonight, but we just seen him run off the racetrack there, and now he's mired back in 2nd position, and Chase Hudson's back out in front here for the first time tonight after starting on the pole position, and it looks like he will come around to get ready to lead his 2nd lap.
The good news about where Blocker went off, there was a lot of runoff room, him to, not hit anything, so he was able to keep going, and he's only 2.5 seconds behind right now, so he's still in this race.
Yeah, that was a good thing for Blocker. The area he ran off in was pretty wide, so Chase used
Hudson
up that.
gets into the grass.
Yeah, Chase just used that corner up a lot. He went over the rumble strip and went into the grass, but he kept control of that car. It didn't get loose, so that was some great driving by Chase Hudson.
I've seen him do that a couple times in the practice session too, but I think he's done it so many times he knows how to handle it up there.
Yeah, I tell you, Chase Hudson is an IndyCar wheelman at best. He can get the job done when he needs to, and that's what he's doing right now.
Coming up on the lap car of Chris Foyles, who I believe had a faster pair earlier on.
Oh, yeah, I think most definitely there when we seen him coming off the last corner there, coming to the straightaway a couple laps ago when he spun out. I believe he did use his quick repair because his whole front nose was just gone off the car, and I think he had some side damage too. Might have got the suspension possibly. So yeah, I think he probably did use a quick fix there for the Butterfinger car. But we got the leader, Chase Hudson, coming to pit road. And it looks like Adam Blocker will follow him in.
Well, if he comes to pit road right now, it's probably going to be a 3-stop race instead of a 2 like we expected.
Yeah. Unless there's a strategy that they know of that we don't, and they can stick it on 2 from here. But I highly doubt it.
Looks like Chase got into his pit stall a little bit more quickly there. See who comes out first. Chase comes out first. Blocker had a bit of a slow pit stop as well. He might be another second behind from where he was before coming out of the pits.
Yeah, it looks like Garrett and Scott Brinson coming to pit road too. It looks like Eric Steinmetz is going to stay out another lap here.
Makes you wonder what he's doing differently to have that much more fuel as he terrorizes the rumble strips there. Maybe he's running a slightly lower gear than the rest of these guys, maybe shifting into second when other people are shifting to first, saving that little extra bit of gas.
Exactly. And I don't think Eric terrorized the rumble strips as bad as Chase and Adam Blocker have been tonight. Got Kevin O'Brien hitting pit road now for the first time tonight. So on the lead lap cars, that will Eric Steinmetz is the last one to pit. He's the last one to complete the pit cycle for the lead lap cars. We also see Mark McFadden coming down pit road now as well.
Yeah, Kevin, he went off the corner in turn 5 and hit the outside wall where there's no safety barrier. Damages the front ring pretty good. So he's going to have to use that fast repair. It seems like most of the field has used already one, or it seems like they have. At least a lot of the guys in the back of the field have used one so far.
As I said, I'm pretty sure that if they just get wing damage, they will replace the wing without using the quick fix. So if these guys didn't have any other amount of damage on their race car and it was just wing damage, then they probably didn't use their quick fix and they still possibly had it. So
I remember getting in an incident at Pocono in an official race, and I completely destroyed the front end of the car. I don't know if it was gone or not, but I thought my race was over. I was about to quit, and then they they repaired the car, and it was brand new. I couldn't believe it, and then I went out and probably got a decent finish out of it. So I was pretty happy about that. But I think you're right. They do replace front wings and stuff or that kind of thing.
Yeah, most Formula open wheel style cars, like a Formula One car or an Indy car, they will replace the wings on iRacing without using a quick fix if it's just wing damage. But if it's other, body damage like a side pod or, the side of the car suspension damage, then they will require a quick fix.
So guys, if you wreck, make sure it's on the front or the back and not the side.
Exactly. But even sometimes in the back or the front, if you hit it right, it still damages the suspension. So
that's true.
Just be careful when you wreck.
Oh yeah. Or don't wreck. That'd probably be the optimal way to go. But
yeah, that would be
one thing about the Indy car, it's probably the hardest car not to get involved in an accident.
Oh yes.
Yeah, especially on the ovals. You're constantly racing around everybody, or you can't beat and bang and not fly up in the air 100 times.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just all it takes is one piece of contact and you're done.
It does, yeah. It really does. Yeah, these cars are just so finely tuned, and they have just such small pieces and stuff. You can't, beat these cars around like a stock car. So, these cars have more wear than tear than a stock car does. So you have to really, as fast as these cars go on ovals, it kind of doesn't make sense to tell guys to be gentle, but you basically have to be. When you're racing around other drivers, you have to be gentle with that race car and try not to get into anything, because if you make contact with one of these cars on an oval or a road course with anybody, it's mainly going to end your night if the series doesn't use a quick fix. It's, no quick fixes. Your night's mainly done if you get into a pretty bad crash.
That's what I like about this league. The races are pretty long, so most people in the field are probably going to get involved in something, so it's nice to have that that extra mulligan there.
Exactly. Yeah, so Chase Hudson is your current race leader. He is 2.5 seconds ahead of Adam Blocker, as Chase is now starting his lead lap campaign here to lead laps, as Adam Blocker did lead the first 14 laps. But Chase now leading laps here as he completed lap 20, getting ready to come around to complete lap number 21 out of 60 tonight here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park for Top Fuel Racing. Right now, only currently 5 drivers are on the lead lap. From 6th on back, they're laps down. It looks like 4 drivers, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. They're only 1 lap down. Then we got Michael Jeans back in 10th, who is 2 laps down, along with Chris Voiles. It looks like Kevin O'Brien just took his car behind the wall.
Where did he
Yeah,
get?
taking a look here. He does have right side damage. Wonder where he got that from. Kind of you abusing those rumble strips there?
That's possible. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure because I haven't seen him, unless he did something on the pit road that we didn't see. I don't think he did anything.
I really did. Oh, car off the track there in front of him. Who was that? Was that Mark Walker? Yes, it was. Mark Walker off the track.
Yeah, Adam Blocker is going to fly right by there. It looks like Walker was trying to give Hudson the inside there, and he just dove it in a little too hard into 5 and ended up in the grass. Fortunately, he's okay. Nobody else involved.
Yeah, and he was also in one of those areas where it was the large runoff, and he didn't, hit anything. So that's the good point of this. You want to wreck on this racetrack where the large runoffs are, not where the smaller runoffs are, because that way people know you have accurate ability to stop and won't get damaged.
And plus, there you're going pretty slow anyway, so you're not going to need to use as much.
And Chase Hudson just keeps abusing those rumble strips, but it's working to his advantage. As I said, he's an IndyCar wheelman, and when he gets the job done, he can do it. And every time I've seen him go over those rumble strips, he's been using extra real estate. I've been seeing dirt and dust fly up from the grass on the other side of the rumble strip. So, he's using extra real estate out there to stay out here in the front.
He's always using extra real estate. Blocker's, I've seen Blocker do it a few times himself, but Chase is doing a little bit more. Right now, Blocker, despite the fact that Chase Hudson's using a little bit of that extra racetrack, is catching Chase about maybe 1 to 2 tenths a lap. So maybe by the end of the green flag run here, or it's green the whole way, but until the next pit stop, we can maybe see him get within a second.
Yeah, only local enforced cautions around road courses, and that's another good thing for these drivers too, because these road courses are so long, it's kind of hard to do pace laps, and so a lot of iRacing leagues use only local enforced cautions and keep the racing green.
One interesting thing I'm noticing here is in turn 2, these guys aren't apexing the exit. They're actually exiting the corner around the middle groove. I don't know if that gives them some kind of advantage or not, but in cars that I'm used to driving, you have to go all the way down to that grass on turn 2 exit. But I'm seeing these guys exit the corner pretty high.
Yeah, it's probably something for us to keep our eyes on as the race continues, and see if they start to change that, or if they stay to that, point of view and keep doing it. So
we're heading to lap 25 now. I'm gonna look at the point. I'm looking at the point standings here, not the standings, but the point system. Looks like first place gets 50 points. Second place, I know in real life, gets 40 points. But because he's trying to compensate for a possible 43rd place field, he's got second at 45 points, and third place is 43. And it's a 2-point difference down to fifth place. And then every point behind that is 38 points, 37 points, and 1 down. So first place gets 50, second 45, and then down from there.
And that is IndyCar points that I believe they use currently. So, because I know the winner gets 50, so that sounds about right for IndyCar points.
Looks like Blocker. Hudson got trapped behind McFadden for a little bit of a while there in turn 5 and 6, and cost him about a second of time.
It did, yeah, because Blocker has closed in on him. Just a few laps ago, Adam Blocker was 2.5 seconds back. Now only a second 0.1 back, so that did help him out getting trapped behind lap traffic. So Adam Blocker is like, yes, that helped him.
Yeah, it's a tough call for these lap cars on deciding when to go let them by, especially when you hit a corner like that. The only thing you can really do that's safe is just keep them behind you and say, sorry, you gotta wait. Because otherwise, the lap car might wreck, and then it'll destroy his race even more than it would if he just stayed in front.
That's true. And taking a look at Scott Brinson right now, he's running in 4th after starting 4th. He's the last car in the lead lap, really.
He managed
nobody around him.
He managed to get pretty far ahead of Nathan Sedlick. In fact, Eric Steinmetz is in the top 5, even though he's a lap down ahead of Sedlick. Actually, Paul Kremrei just passed Sedlick too. Sedlick's in the pits.
Yeah, see that. Sedlick is on pit road. Uh-oh. Scott is indeed off the racetrack here, but he's got it back going, so. It don't look like he got any damage off of that. I can't see any wing damage that I can tell from this camera view here. Let's kind of down here closer. Yeah. But a wide swing, can cost you dearly here. Like, he took there. It could cost you time-wise. So.
Fortunately, he was able to. By the time he reached that point, he was already going, just 60 miles an hour. He had every opportunity to just take a right and then keep going. Sedlick, whoa.
Yeah, Adam Blocker, where'd he come from?
It looks like Chase got trapped behind another lap car, Paul Kremrei, and that gave Blocker the opportunity to draft on him on the back straightaway there and take the lead.
Yeah, that's something I was thinking about when he started this race. When would lap traffic come into effect to these leaders and the rest of the field? And it looks like right now that's the case, that it's messing with these Adam Blocker and Chase's race here, as it allowed Adam to get back into the lead.
I never thought he'd actually make it this far with all the time he lost on the last pit stop and the spin he had earlier.
Yeah.
But Blocker looks like he's going to... Blocker and Hudson have led about the same amount of laps so far, so looks like Blocker's going to try to continue to get those bonus points.
Exactly. Yeah, so with them leading that amount of laps, these guys are just going back and forth, at each other here. And as I said in the beginning, I think, these guys, these are the two you're going to watch for, and these are the two that's going to be racing it up, and they're showing that right now. And these two here are the most definite ones here in Top Fuel that just can get the job done and, have good races between each other. And they've been that way, the past, 5, ever since the season started, per se, at Auto Club. These two have always been in the hunt, and they've always been up front racing around one another.
Yeah, I feel like if Blocker had a better season so far and stayed out of a little bit more trouble, he'd be right up there in the points, maybe second behind Hudson. But unfortunately, I think he's a little bit farther down because of, either mistakes or problems earlier.
Yeah, looks like we got a slow car here on these guys. It is Mark Walker. He's been in the wall somewhere. He doesn't have a front wing anymore.
Yeah, it looks like he's at 60 miles an hour now, barely accelerating at all.
Yeah, he's off in the grass there. Ooh, hard hit to the wall again, trying to let that other race car go by. Ouch. It's been a tough night for Mark Walker here in the 36 Oculus car. He just hasn't had the luck that he's hoped for at the start of this race.
One fortunate thing is that pit road was right there. He's just going to dive in now. Hopefully he has a reset and he can continue on. I don't think he'd go that far of a distance if he didn't think he had a reset, though. He'd probably just quit.
No. Well, he did what you said earlier. You know, there's no sense in, since there's, no full course cautions or anything of that nature, or, any incidents, it's best just to, kind of stay off the side of the track, let the drivers drive by you and kind of drive in the grass and just drive yourself back to pit road. That's exactly what he did. So we'll see if he can get his quick fix if he still has one remaining and get back out on the racetrack and get a good finish.
Nathan Sedlick after a spin in turn 6, he's out of the race. I think he's the second person out of the race right now.
He did take his car behind the wall. Yeah, so right now we've got Kevin O'Brien and Nathan Sedlick behind the wall. Matt Bernhardt is the one with the most laps down, but he is still considered in the race. He's just off the racetrack, sitting on pit road.
I think he's just a spectator at this point. I don't think he'll go back out.
Yeah.
You never know, though.
You never know. Yes, Chase does take the lead back here over Adam Blocker, and this is some great racing between these two, as we've been talking about. These guys just keep changing it up here amongst one another. Looks like they are coming up here to Eric Steinmetz. No, that wasn't Eric, excuse me. It was a yellow car, it looked like. I believe that's the Butterfinger car. Yeah, Chris Voiles.
Blocker's going to take an aggressive move on the outside there, coming into turn 8, and that's not going to work.
No, that is not going to work at all. I say,
going on the outside lane on a road course turn is just not. It's just not. I'm not saying it's not smart. I'm just saying it's bold, man.
I'll tell you, these two drivers right here, they're the ones to take the boldest moves I've ever seen. So it wouldn't surprise me that these guys are taking those bold moves like that.
Yeah, it looked like Blocker lost the lead, Hudson, on turn 4 there. Or not turn 4, turn 3. The entry into turn 3 is pretty simple and quick, but that corner exit takes up a good portion of racetrack, and it's easy to be a little impatient getting on the gas, and he just got on the gas a little too soon and hit the grass just a little bit, let Hudson get by.
Exactly.
Oh, we see Blocker coming in a bit.
Yes, he is.
I think that was a pretty good move. I think the only way he can retake the lead is if he pits either a lap earlier or a lap later from Hudson. If they pit at the same time, I don't think he's going to find any way to get by him on pits.
I believe you're right about that. I don't think this is a good strategy call here for Adam, and we'll see if it pays off.
Looks like things are continuing to spread out towards the back. Garrett Maines is 14 seconds ahead of Scott Brinson, who's 46 seconds behind the leader. So Scott's already a 3/4 of the lap down.
Coming to pit road.
We got another taker to pit road. Chase Hudson's in.
Yeah, Chase is in pit road.
See how long this takes him. I've had pit stops that were 4 seconds, and I've had pit stops that were almost 8 seconds, so it can be a pretty random deal. Let's take a look and see.
It can be.
Let's take a look and see what he does. Yeah, it looks like he just lopped the brakes and slid there.
Yeah.
I think it makes a little bit of sense, though, because you're only going 35 miles an hour. You don't have to really work the brakes in order to slow down. So it's not too big of a surprise to see people just slamming on it and stopping immediately.
But he will stay ahead of Adam Blocker. Adam did not get the pass on him. Oh,
no!
The grass.
Oh!
Hard damage to the 7 car there of Chase Hudson. He hit the tire barrier. I think he's got some suspension damage, and it looks like quick fix for him possibly if he still has his. I don't think he's been on pit. I don't think he's used his yet today. But man, that was a tough break right there.
Go back and take a look at this real quick. If I can catch it.
I think what happened was he just got a new set of tires. The car probably felt different to him, and he just went into turn 2 at a different angle than he should have. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right off of the track and into the tires. Oh, man.
I think he would have went okay, but when he hit the grass there, the car jumped, and it sent it right towards the wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he's losing a bunch of time now to the leader, Adam Blocker. Adams is smiling from ear to ear right now, I can bet.
And that wasn't a good sight for Chase, but it was a good sight for Adam. That's what Adam wanted to see, but that's not what Chase wanted to see. No. So, man, that just a lot of different things unfolding today here in this race at Canadian Tire.
Yep, boy, he's got heavy damage on that car now. Wow. Oh, and he spins it again.
I figured, oh.
Yeah, he's
I think at this point he's just going to head to pit road.
Yeah, he's going to have to head to pit road and use that reset.
The good news is if he pits right now, he's still going to be in the 3rd position. So he can, I know he wants to win so badly, but at this point he's just got to accept the fact that he made that mistake and just continue on, try to get a 2nd place finish if he can.
Exactly, yeah. We got Eric Steinmetz on pit road here. He was back on the lead lap for a split second, but he is back to a lap down now.
I think Steinmetz was the last car to pit in the last pit cycle, too, as we see Hudson come in. What's interesting is that Hudson saw Blocker make that same mistake on the exact same corner just a few laps prior, and Hudson made the same mistake that he did. Only he paid the price a lot more than Blocker.
And he had a reset.
That's good news. Mark McFadden also on pit road, and he will pull away.
That's a perfect time to have to use your reset. I mean, you're in the later stages of the race. You're past halfway, and if you've saved it this long, then he should be in good shape.
Exactly. Yeah, he's not like those other drivers at the beginning of the race who had incidents and possibly had to use their quick fix back before even lap 12. That's tough on those drivers, but for Chase, it wasn't that tough this late in the race.
Well, Garrett Maines closed that gap up on Chase Hudson now. Chase is in some lap traffic here with Paul Crumride.
Yeah, I think that's the 3rd lap car. I think Paul was actually one of them prior that he's been stuck behind entering that corner or exiting that corner. So he's had a really tough time getting by lap traffic, unlike Blocker, who's had a lot more of a decent time doing it. Hey, Rudy, I know we're lap 36, 37 right now, but our sponsor from Wally Turnheimer, he just crossed the halfway point just a couple laps ago, so you want to do a halfway sponsor shout out?
To Wally Turnheimer?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. Well, you go for it.
Well, what do you want me to say?
I don't know. Say the sponsor, I guess.
Okay, I thought New West Construction was a sponsor, but
that's what Scott said.
Let me take a hit.
Well, I'll give Wally a Turnheimer. Hey, Wally's a good guy. I'll always give Wally a shout out. So shout out to
of course,
Wally Turnheimer. I don't know if his mom's watching in chat or not, but if she is, hello, Mrs. Turnheimer. Hopefully you're having a good night. We'll give Wally a big shout out. He's running back in 9th place.
I appreciate that, Rudy. I actually made a mistake. I thought that was Mark McFadden. I am 100% wrong, and I'm sorry. I meant Mark McFadden, the sponsor, his sponsor.
Yeah, Mark McFadden.
Yeah, Mark McFadden.
Whoopsies.
New West Construction, yeah. So,
New West Construction, there we go.
Yep, Mark McFadden. And Scott said that he threw in a couple $100 here for the league to help pay for putting the races up and giving out prize money. They got some races coming up. Now they got the Indy race here coming up. When did you say that was, Jeff? In a couple of weeks or something. That one, they're actually charging the drivers $15 to get in there to make it a bigger purse. So that'll be an interesting race.
That one is Wednesday, May 24th, which I believe is the week after Memorial Day.
Should be week before.
No.
Or the week before, something like that.
Week before, because
that's going to be
the Indy 500 is Memorial Day weekend, and that is on the 28th, I believe.
I've got my calendar here. What am I looking at it? Well, I don't have it running right now.
Yeah, the 24th is the Wednesday before Memorial Day weekend. So yeah.
Well,
that's going to be
Go ahead.
That's going to be a 300-miler.
Yeah.
Give a entry fee to the drivers, so less money for the sponsors to pay. And looks like Wally Terheimer, after we just gave him a shout-out, just spun it off of, what corner is that? Hit the outside wall somewhere. Looks like turn 3 on the exit of turn 3, so that Miller Lite machine's a little bit dinged up now.
Well, Adam Blocker's got to be breathing a big sigh of relief right now with a 34-second lead over Chase Hudson.
Yeah.
Now he's just got to stay smooth and don't make any mistakes. This will be a big.
He's just got to go
night.
into This will be a big points night for him. Yes, you know, with what Tony told us there earlier, with Chase having the issue back at Kansas, you know, and didn't finish too well. If he doesn't get a good finish here tonight, you know, necessarily that drop week may not be in his favor. But if he stays in second, I think it will. But with Adam getting the win, it'll be a big points night here. And this is just something, you know. But right now, Adam, I think with the lead he's got, he just needs to kind of go into Sunday drive mode and just say, take it easy. Don't work the corners. Don't be over aggressive on these, certain corners. And, you know, when I get to lap traffic, you know, just let them, you know, run their own race. And I think he'll make it to the finish.
It looks like Wally did come to pit road, and I think he had a reset left. He's used that reset, and he's come back out and maintains 10th place. Or
Yep. Oh, Wallace Terheimer.
Wallace Terheimer. Wallace. Well, Chase is trying to close that gap, but man, he is not gaining a whole lot of time on Adam Blocker.
No.
Even when they were both up front, it looked like Blocker would gain on Chase just a little more than Chase would gain on Blocker. He is pulling away from Garrett Maines, though. I think he's 4 seconds ahead.
Yeah. Almost 6 seconds ahead of Garrett Maines. But Garrett's had a great run here tonight, man. I'll tell you what. Started 5th place.
Yes, he has.
And he's maintained 3rd pretty much all night long. Scott Brinson, too. He started 4th, and he's still running in 4th, last car on the lead lap. But the leader is right behind him. I know Scott doesn't really want to go a lap down, but he is going to get out of the way there and let Adam go. He knows Adam's the leader. It doesn't matter, you know, as long as Scott's holding fourth position, doesn't matter if he's 1 lap down or 100 laps down. 4th is 4th.
Yeah. And that's good to, you know, start in that position and hold that position for most of the race. And it's still a top 5 finish. So not really nothing to complain about here with the finish that Scott Brinson is looking for here tonight in top 5.
Yes, sir. I'm super impressed with Garrett Maines' performance here tonight, man. He has really drove the wheels off of that thing. And at one point
he has.
Almost got a chance to get by Chase Hudson for second, but Chase, now that he's used his reset and got those brand new tires, he's definitely pulling away from Garrett Maines.
That's real. Go ahead.
This is only Garrett's 2nd career Top Fuel Racing Series, and he's finished last week. He finished 6th at Kansas. Now he's getting a pretty even better finish here, 3rd place so far.
Wow. So yeah, this being his second start, and his first start, he got one position outside the top 5, top 10 finish, and now he's in third, battling, up here to keep it. And wow, this is just great. This guy has talent. You can see it with the stats that he has right now currently.
He's a good young man. I talked to him there a little bit earlier, and he's pretty respectable young man. Oh, and he just went off the track. I just threw the Max.
Oh no!
That MaxSpeedTV jinx, man. Chris Voil's out of the race. Oh no!
Yeah, he just took his car behind the wall. Yeah. Oh no! Garrett off the track again, and he hit the wall.
Uh-oh. Man, well, he spun it there once, and boy, he got them tires probably pretty angry. So he's going to have to take it kind of easy. Either that or possibly come to pit road and make his final pit stop of the day, maybe. I really don't know what to tell him.
Well, it's possible that he can make it from here. We saw Steinmetz take 17 laps, and there's 17 laps to go right now for him, so there's a good chance he can take that faster pair and possibly go to the end from here.
Yeah, here he comes. He's coming in. All right, as he comes in, now it's probably he'll go a lap down, and probably Scott Brinson will pass him for third.
Yeah, I believe so. Yep, Scott just went by him.
Yep, he just went into third. That's probably making Scott happy. He's going to be on the podium. Garrett is back off the pit road, and now he'll be chasing down Scott to try to get that third place back. And he's got brand new rubber on that car, but he better take it easy for a lap. Gotta get a little warmth in them tires before he goes out there and really puts the hammer down. I'll tell you what, Chase Hudson's not gaining much ground on Adam Blocker. I mean,
no, I think he's
picking up a tenth here or there. That's about it.
I think Chase is definitely driving more aggressively. As you can see him locking the brakes up, heading into turn 5 right there with a lap car right in front of him. He's going to go by Turnheimer here, but like you said, he's only gaining about 1 to 2 tenths a lap, if that. Right now he's 31 seconds behind, so unless Blocker makes a big mistake here, it's Blocker's race to lose.
Well, he was our pole sitter and our points leader and the whole 9 yards coming in this week, and you can't expect to be out there and win every single race, and I know Chase doesn't expect that. I mean, Chase is a good racer and he's a tough competitor, and he knows you got to take the good with the bad in here. And last week he had a very, very bad week, but this week here, he's still on the podium. He's going to maintain the points lead. He's really got nothing to worry about right now.
Yeah, if you're going to make a mistake, do it on a road course where you can easily recover. On the ovals, it's a lot more difficult.
Yep. Got to look at the big picture on it, and I think that's what a lot of drivers, they lose perspective. They overlook the big picture, you got to look at the overall season and where you're at. You may have a couple of bad finishes in there, but they do have a drop week, and you can take that bad race out of there. And last week, I'm sure he probably used his drop week on it, and he'll go on from there. And still, you coming into tonight had a 48-point lead. Hey, I'd take that any day of the week.
The one wild card for all the top guys like Chase Hudson and Adam Blocker is going to be, looks like 3 weeks from now at Daytona. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be actually, that's going to be a road race. Never mind. I thought they were going to run the oval. I'm like, oh, man.
No, they're running Daytona Road.
That makes a little more sense. Not that Daytona Oval wouldn't be fun, but be a little too fun.
I have ran Indy cars around Daytona Oval before. I prefer Talladega better because those fast speeds these cars can attain. Daytona is just a little bit too narrow.
Yeah, Talladega, that going through the tri-oval on the bottom must be horrifyingly bumpy in the Indy car.
No, it did not actually.
No? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they reached like, what, 240 some mile an hour on the backstretch?
235.
By yourself. It's not even in the draft, you know?
Well, that's why we have sim racing to actually try things like that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to worry. If we go into the grandstands and then sim racing, we think it's cool.
And nobody gets hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Blocker's coming in the pits right now with just about 12 laps to go.
Yes, he is.
So, even if he has room for error, if he gets a penalty, he'll lose just half the time he has to Hudson right now. So, as long as he doesn't do any excessive speeding, which it doesn't look like he's doing, he'll be all right.
All right, that's his final pit stop of the day. Now, Chase is still going to have to make one more stop.
Yeah, even after Blocker's pit stop, Chase is still going to be behind on the racetrack.
It's going to be close, though. He's coming around here, and he's got a full head of steam. But, yeah, he's still going to be
Chase
3 seconds behind Adam Blocker. Of course, Adam's going to take it easy for a lap here.
But if Chase still has to pit, I just don't understand why he didn't pit there, because I think now he'll just be even farther back when he does come down pit road.
Maybe he didn't know Adam did. I bet you we'll see Chase pit on this time.
At this point, there really is no strategy call for Hudson, so I think he's just doing whatever his mind tells him to do and just ride around, hope. I mean, all I can do is just not wreck and hope that Adam makes a mistake. No strategy is going to help with that. Maybe play a little mind games on the chat with him or something. I don't know, but I don't think Brinson would like that.
Yeah, no, he didn't come in. Wow.
Yeah.
Surprise.
No, I am too.
Shocked. I know he don't have enough fuel to make it to the end, but well.
And there's only 10 laps to go this time by when they come back around, so interesting.
Well, Garrett Maines is within about 5 seconds of Scott Brinson, and that would be for third place. I don't know if he's got enough time to get up there, but
they better enjoy their time on the lead lap now, because I think by the time, it says Garrett Maines is 1 minute 15 seconds behind.
No, he's 54 seconds behind.
Oh, okay.
You got to wait.
It's pretty confused there.
See, you're using iRacing. iRacing doesn't update until they cross the start-finish line. Right now, he is 53 seconds behind the leader. He's picking up time on him, actually, a little bit.
Fifth place Steinmetz just hit the wall coming off of turn 8 and destroyed the car, but I think he's actually going to limp it around and keep his position from Paul Krumrei, who's a lap behind.
Yeah, Paul's just ahead of Paul's pitting too. So both of them guys.
Yeah, Scott pitted. He's one away.
Yep. Now I think Garrett Maines has probably got enough fuel to make it to the end. Oh, he just went off track.
Oh, he just ran off the track again.
Oh man. But I think he's got enough fuel to make it.
I believe he does.
Let me see if he when the last time he was on pit road here. Garrett Maines.
Yeah, lap 44 he came in, so I think he's got enough.
Yeah. Yep, so he's got enough, but and both Chase and Adam do. Chase does not. Chase took over the lead, but I don't think he's got enough to make it to the end. He was on pit road. Where the heck was it?
He's been out there. This is the 18th lap he's been out there since lap 34. So you never know with Chase. Maybe he has enough. I know.
35. He was. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see, and maybe Adam Blocker knows. He says, "Hey, he's got to come to pit road, so he ain't going to hold on to that lead for very long."
Yeah, it looks like Blocker's just holding on for dear life, trying not to make a mistake. Because as long as he stays up there, he's got it.
And that's what he needs to do right now. Just don't worry about what Chase is doing.
Oh, Garrett Maines.
Yeah, he just gone out there in the last
Here he
corner.
comes. Chase Hudson on pit road.
Yes.
And Adams is
Adam
smiling
Blocker.
right now. He's got this in the bag right now. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, that's going to be the whole key to it.
There goes Chase.
And
He's going to be right behind Mark Walker. Better be careful there. There we go.
21 seconds behind the leader. Make that about 22, actually.
You have that live interval thing. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yep, IRTVO. There's another program. I thought I gave that to you, but I guess I didn't. Remind me after the race, Tony. I'll give that to you.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with any of these programs, so
Well, this
anything
is
you
just
can
a-
help me out with, that would be
It's
great.
so basically simple. It's ridiculous, ain't it, Jeff?
Yeah.
A sim tracker. I mean,
Yeah, race tracker. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, it tells you when people are pitting. It tells you when they're in their pit stall even. It tells you when they're leaving pit road.
Yep.
It gives you the lap times, how many laps down they are. Yeah,
Cautions,
you know,
everything.
yeah, what the session time is, how many laps remaining. It gives them your, I don't know if the pit stop times are actually accurate, but
Yeah, they're
it
not.
gives you, yeah, but it does give you how many pit stops they've made. That is accurate. So it's a great tool.
Well, Garrett Maines, last one on the lead lap, has got the leader breathing down his neck right now.
Yes, he does.
And Blocker's got a lot fresher tires than Garrett does right now too, so that's what's really helping Adam Blocker out. I'm sure he'll get to him and pass him. They've got 6 laps to go here. Been a long race for these guys, and I bet you we're going to hear these guys. You're going to be able to hear the exhaustion in their voice. Oh, we got one spun off the track there. Wally Turheim.
That's
Wally
Turheimer.
Turheimer.
Yeah, ever since we talked about him, he's just
man.
had a little bit of a hard go of it.
Yeah,
Old
he's
Wallace.
Yeah, that's Mrs. Turheimer said his real name's Wally. Well, that's kind of an inside joke between him and Scott Brinson there. He calls him Wallace. I don't know the whole story, so I'm not going to elaborate on it, but it's kind of an inside joke between them two. Chase Hudson's down to 19.9 seconds, but he's behind lap traffic here. Mark McFadden using Mark for a little drafting.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, Hudson, he was just able to fly right by McFadden right there.
Yep.
I'm surprised McFadden, after all the medical bills he probably had to pay. Pretty impressed that he and his company, New West Contractors, were able to stick in another 200 for us. That was pretty cool
Heck
for
yeah,
them
man,
to do.
That's great. Oh, went off the track. Wally, and boy, Chase Hudson followed him right off the track.
Oh.
Adding insult to injury right there. That's, oh, man.
Yeah.
He just followed him right off the track.
Yes, he did.
I've done that
I don't
100
think we
times.
saw that coming.
I've done that 100 times.
No.
I followed the guy right into the wall.
Oh, I've done that too. I didn't see that coming right there, though. That was a surprise for all of us.
I just happened to be on him when he did it, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was on Wally when it happened, and I seen Chase go off. I was like, oh, no, that was Chase.
Chase was just trying to, like you guys said, just avoid it. Looks like Wally braked a little bit too hard coming into turn 1 because, that's probably the blindest corner in all of motorsports. probably just mistimed his braking zone, and Chase did everything to get by it, and he had to steer to the right a little bit to avoid and just barely missed hitting the wall.
Garrett does go a lap down. Leader Adam Blocker got by him. And really, even though he spun off the track, that really only cost Chase about maybe 2.5 to 3 seconds. That was pretty impressive. Boy, he got it going right away.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Anything he can do to just not hit any, I think Chase is in the pretty much the same position as Blocker is, in the sense that there's no one around him. If nobody makes a mistake, they're not going to gain or lose any position. So it's basically just right around at this point with 3 laps to go.
Yep, 3 to go for Adam Blocker. Got a 22.9 second lead. He's in clean air. He's got his feet up on the dash and got his favorite tunes on, rocking it out. He's just in cruise mode right now.
I don't know if I'd be
Sunday
rocking
drive.
it out right now. Maybe some Hawaiian ukulele music or something. But no,
Well,
you don't
no,
want to play Zeppelin when you're leading.
Well, they are in Canada, so it would have to be some Canadian music. So
It's old
Well,
Canada.
I wouldn't know about that.
Oh, Canada.
I'm sure it's the same stuff they have here. It seems like the whole world has the same stuff now.
Yeah, pretty much. Brinson's still hanging on to 4th. Steinmetz with a great run here today. Top 5 for Eric Steinmetz.
Yeah. And looking
good.
at where he started 13th. That's 1 spot ahead of last, and he's up to
Yeah.
5th. That's just a great run for him today.
Absolutely. Paul Crumry picking up a couple of positions, goes into 6th. Mark McFadden started 11th. He's running in 7th. Now, Michael Jeans did not have a good run here today. We've seen him get into trouble real early. Had to use that.
Oh, and he spins
spinning out
again.
Oh, man. Started
If you're gonna
third.
have-
Golly. Mark Walker is back out on the track. Looks like he's going to run a couple laps here and try to get by Wally Turheimer. Wally took it behind the wall.
Yeah, he did.
That's good awareness. I think that's exactly what he saw.
Yep. If he can turn
Yeah,
one
and
more lap here before they get the green or the checkered flag, I think he'll be able to do it, though. He'll pick up that one more position from Wally, putting Wally back to 10th. He'll finish 10th.
Blocker's about to take the white flag or the white flag lap right now.
Yep.
White
White
flag.
flag. 1 lap to go for Adam Blocker.
I'll tell you what, it's either Adam has backed it down a lot or Chase Hudson's picked it up a lot, because Chase is within 17 seconds of him now.
Well, I
Or
think
maybe
you
it's
saw the
both.
mistakes that Hudson's made, and that Adams made a couple mistakes himself, but
Oh, yeah.
fortunately it wasn't into the wall. So he knows what's
Yeah,
at
and
stake here.
also back there when Michael Jeans spun there coming off turn 6 there for the backstretch, he was in the racing groove when Adam came around the track, and Adam had to miss him, and he clipped the grass a little bit, and and I think that slowed him down a little bit. So that also could be another issue there too of the reason Chase caught up to him a little bit.
All right, the final couple turns here
Checkered
for
flag.
Adam Blocker. And here he goes. He's going to bring it home today here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Congratulations. Well, if I can find the right camera, where the heck is it?
That's his first win since February 8th at another road course, Indianapolis.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
Congratulations to Adam tonight.
Yes, sir.
Chase Hudson will come home in second, and it looks like Garrett Manes will come. Mans or Manes?
I don't know.
Never did know.
Mains, I think.
Manes. Garrett Manes will come home in third. It looks like.
Tony, you want to take Garrett?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
All right, there he is. Go. Oh, I've drug him into the wrong channel here. There you go.
Hey, Garrett, you made your fair share of mistakes tonight, but fortunately you weren't too close to the wall too many times to lose a podium finish. So talk about your race tonight.
Yeah, no doubt I made way too many mistakes there, but glad to just pull off third. I got lucky when I actually hit the walls in the fuel range so I could make it.
Yeah, we saw you hit the. I think you hit the wall coming off of turn 8 or into turn 9 there, and the pit road was right there. You were just able to get in, and with 17 laps to go, you were able to make it the whole way and finish third. So good job. I think this is only your second top fuel finish so far, or your top fuel race. So with the inexperience you've had so far, you've impressed us pretty well, and hopefully your first one will come soon.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I love running these. I really like the fact that they're fixed. I haven't been able to find anything for Indy cars that's actually fixed. So this is really fun. Glad they're hosting, and yeah.
Do you do a lot of official IndyCar stuff?
No, I do mainly C-fixed and super lates, depending on how I feel. I haven't really messed with super lates this season, but Indy cars I don't think I've touched, but Michigan.
Wow.
You probably picked the scariest of them all, other than Daytona.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive run.
But either way, a good finish. One lap down, maybe could have done a little better, but in the end, it's a podium and helps you out in the points. I know you're a little bit far behind from missing the first couple races, so good luck for the rest of the season and good race tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Jeff, you got second?
Yeah. Chase Hudson, you got a copy?
I gotcha.
Well, Chase, we've seen you start in the pole position today. It looked like the green flag, you kind of hesitated on the start there, and Adam got around you, and he led about 14 laps, and then you guys just started changing positions, and then both of you had some up and down parts of the race as well, and looks like you finished second today. So kind of tell us about your racing out there.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Me and Adam felt really, in race pace, really even. I mean, none of us were faster than the other, it seemed like. I mean, in practice, we couldn't get away from each other. We just kept on passing. So that was pretty fun, just the competition, trying to get that little extra bit of the car, but kind of frustrating. While I was looking down on that one incident where I hit the wall, I looked down to look at my fuel exiting a corner, and then just looked up and I was in the wall. So that was kind of frustrating. I felt like I could have been right there to win, or at least get second. Or well, I did get second, but at least fight for the win. It was final last, but stuff happens. But good win to Adam.
Yeah, you were the points leader coming into tonight's race. You was able to keep your ride to get a second place finish, so I don't think that'll hurt you too bad in the points, as Michael Jeans was second. And so tell us, what you're looking forward to going into the next race, knowing you'll be the points leader.
Yeah, I'm hopefully, getting as many points as possible, whether that's leading most laps, getting pole, or winning the race. I think it's going to be a good challenge from Adam. Me and him seems like the top two guys, always fighting it out, so got to get every point I can.
Exactly. Well, take the perspective today with, how you guys ran practice times and then to your qualifying times. We've seen some guys up front, they didn't improve on their practice times to qualifying, but you and Adam did. So kind of tell us what the extra work it takes to, use the practice for a road course like this caliber, and to where that got your qualifying time and your finishing position.
Oh yeah, it definitely helps. Just it doesn't even matter how slow or fast you're running, just running laps, just knowing where all the bumps are, every single feature of the track helps a lot. And when it comes to race time, your race pace, it's not as hard when you're practicing for so long. You don't have to try as hard to get those fast laps, which when you first start practicing, it takes a lot out of you. But once you get in a rhythm and all that, it gets kind of a lot easier.
Awesome. Well, you guys started the season out at Auto Club, and you won the race at Auto Club. So your next race will be at Auto Club. It is a smaller race, though, that I see, because the first race was 150 laps. this next week will be 125. So with your win already at Auto Club, how you feeling going into next week's race?
Pretty good. I think it'll be a day race this time, so hopefully we'll see some guys, not really hugging in the bottom as much, maybe using the middle or kind of that third groove up top. Hopefully the tires fall off and we have to lift a lot and not just run flat out every single lap on new tires and old tires. But I think it should be fun.
All right. Well, congratulations on your second place finish today here, Chase. Do you have anybody to give thanks or shout out to before you go celebrate your top 3 finish?
Yeah, thanks to Scott for putting this on, and congrats, Adam, on your win. And also, I'm wishing Mark McFadden to get better.
Now, I actually want to ask Scott. I don't know if Mark McFadden's still here, but if there was a way we could figure out what his situation is right now. I know he's racing today, so that's a really good thing. But
we can bring him up here and have a chat.
Yeah, bring him up. He's still down there. Bring him up.
Yeah, there he is. Mark, you there?
Yes, sir, Rudy.
Mark, how you been feeling there, brother?
Feeling not too bad. A little bit of concussions making me a bit fuzzy in the head, but some people say that's no different than normal.
Well, I'll second that, but still. No, we're just wishing you the best there, brother. I mean, that was a pretty wicked wreck that happened. Man, I'll tell you what, it probably happened so fast you didn't even know what happened, didn't it?
Well, it seemed like slow motion in the last 3 seconds, which I think the whole total episode was about 3.5 seconds. But yeah, it hurt a whole pile though.
I'll bet. Yeah, because I seen you posted a picture of the car on Facebook and said you were like blue from head to toe.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the pictures do the car no justice. The petty bar or the bay bar, if you know what that is, it's almost bent in 45-degree angle, and the floorboards. Yeah, the floorboards are all ripped to pieces, and the rear end's all cocked. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, we should wish you the best of luck getting better, man. That's we hate to hear our fellow, racers like that getting into wrecks or getting any kind of injury or hurt or anything, because man, it just brings everybody down, because we all wish the best for you,
Oh, absolutely, and thank you very much. I mean, the old 68-year-old body, doesn't recover quite as quick as it used to.
No, it doesn't. A lot of people don't understand that till they start getting to that age, Mark, and believe me, I'm feeling it every day. So, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we wish you the best, brother, and good luck.
Yeah, thanks very much, Rudy.
All right. Okay, let's get up here to our winner, Adam Blocker. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you did it, Adam. You brought home the win there. This fuel strategy and everything that come into play, we were watching and talking about it. Did you know that Chase was going to have to make one more stop?
Yeah, that was pretty clear to me because I knew we couldn't go that far, and he pitted like 3 laps after me, so I just let him go there at the end because there was no point in really fighting over it because I had a healthy lead over him. So, yeah, just let him lead a few more laps.
Now, were you kind of pedaling it there at the end, just knowing that you had that huge of a lead, or were you really just kind of keeping the hammer down because Chase was closing? I mean, he closed down to within like 16 seconds of you or something, 17 seconds.
Well, I would say I was running about 90%. I was basically running like a half to a full second off my best times, but yeah, it's still a decent pace. I lost like a good. I was really conservative every time I came up to like a spun car or something like that, so I probably lost a lot of time there. But I mean, I didn't care because I had enough lead that it didn't matter.
Well, we've seen everybody make a lot of mistakes out there tonight. Chase made a few, and we know you made a few, but you made just the right call on everything: pit stop strategies, fuel, and everything worked out perfectly for you, man. So this should be a pretty good points night for you. You collected, you led to most laps with 42 points. Or 42 laps, excuse me, and that should be good points there. But what do you think you got for him next week at Auto Club? Because Chase is already talking about he's going to be in victory lane.
Well, I don't have too much experience. I've never driven an auto club before, actually, ever. It's pretty similar to Michigan, though, because theoretically they're the same track, although they're not actually the same track. But I haven't done too well at Michigan when we've gone there, but I'm starting to figure it out a little bit. Yeah, just gonna soak up the win from today and enjoy that for as long as possible, though, because it's been a while.
I'll tell you what, man. I bet you were sweating it there them last few laps, weren't you?
No, I was actually I was pretty relaxed in the last few laps. I was talking to people and to Scott on the chat and everything. But before that, like when I was actually fighting Chase, no, that was pretty intense because we were pretty much right on each other the whole time. Swapped the lead a few times. Every time one of us would make a slight mistake, the other one would get enough of a run to pass. And then I just decided to pit a lap early because I knew I wasn't going to be able to pass him on the next lap. So I just wanted to try to put pressure on him when he was on new tires. And I mean, I don't know if that's what got him, but he just made a mistake. And I mean, I'll take it. So.
Well, you're probably not done stealing pages out of the Chase Hudson playbook, but whatever you used tonight out of the playbook worked for you, Adam. You brought home the win here. That's all that matters, man. Looks good on paper.
Yep, looks pretty good. Yeah, I just want to thank Scott for taking us to road courses, Chase for great competition, and I want to congratulate him and Garrett on their podiums.
Okay, Adam. Well, thanks for talking with us, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club.
Yes, sir. See you then.
All right, let's run down through the results here real quick. Adam Blocker comes home with the win here tonight at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Chase Hudson finishes second. Garrett Maines in third. Scott Brinson, I think he was one lap down, I guess he was. He finishes in fourth. Eric Steinmetz fifth. Paul Krumrei sixth. Mark McFadden seventh. Michael Jeans eighth. Mark Walker ninth. And Wallace Turheimer, and we were corrected by that from his mother, Scott, in chat. It's not Wallace, it's Wally.
Oh, I know. I did that just to mess with him. That's one of them other nicknames that I've thrown in there.
Yep.
Oh, well, I got second here. The points have been updated. Chase Hudson has a 56-point lead over Adam Blocker, who moved up 3 spots into that second position. Adam's got a 1-point lead over myself, and I've got a 1-point lead over Michael Jeans for fourth, and Michael's got 7 on Krumrei. That's the top 5 for the points.
Very good.
I also wanted to touch base. A month from now, we're going to be having our third overall pay race. It'll be $15 to enter. It's going to be the Top Fuel Racing Indianapolis 300. So we're going to start building towards that. We got Auto Club next week, Michigan, and then Daytona Road at night, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to that one. That'll be our next road course. That'll be 3 weeks from tonight, a week before we do Indy. And like I said, we're a month away from that buy-in race where we'll be paying the winner at least $50 that night. Plus, depending on the car count, depending on the total number of cars that start will depend on the total number of cars that are paid at the end of the race. But say we get 20 cars, we'll pay the top 8 that night, and everybody will at least get their money back plus another $6, and that's $21 for 8th place, and it goes up from there.
Very good.
So we're getting excited about that, brother. A lot of good races coming up here in this next month. It's going to be a lot of quality racing going on. We've definitely cleaned up a lot of the stuff we had going on, and we're looking forward to moving forward.
Very good. All right, folks. Well, thanks for tuning in tonight for Top Fuel Racing. Thanks for watching MaxSpeedTV. Until next time, stay safe and have a good night.
How about that beast mode, baby? It's going to get real.